Today we're here at Whites Valley Jalapeños in Whites Valley, just a short drive from the Willunga Farmers Market. An amazing property and an amazing story. Whites Valley Jalapeños are trading at the Willunga Farmers Market fortnightly, so you can come and grab your dose of amazing chili products. I'm here with Norma. Business is Whites Valley Jalapeños. Tell us a little bit more about the story.
I was born in El Salvador. I've been here for 30 years, and back home pretty much you don't get given a choice. You are introduced to chilies from a quite young age. But for me, coming here, being married to an Australian, you adapt back to their culture or their taste buds and not mine. So I started growing, hence the name Whites Valley Jalapeños, because my primary chili was the jalapenos. The name comes from a city in Mexico called Jalapa, hence jalapenos. I started pickling them, so that was my very first product here, which I ended up selling at the markets, and it was the only product that I would take. Orders started being added to colleagues, so I decided to start planting a little bit more, and from one thing it led to another. So Andrew's managed to cut this huge water tank into 4 rings, and it has been the best thing ever because it protects the seedlings, because we start everything from seedlings, so it's a full 12 months work for us. It protects them from the windy Willunga hills. These guys have stopped flowering, but the super hot patch in here are the ones that will keep going for the next, so do you know your chilies?
No, you're going to tell me all about
So the Carolina Reapers, as you can see, where they've just started to flower, so they're always about 2-3 months behind. So when the jalapenos are done and dusted, these guys start. So I've got my whites, my jalapenos in there, my white grapes, but look at the sizes of these guys. They're just, so these are not reapers, these are marugas.
So a maruga, that's hot. So all of the hot ones you grow together?
Yes.
Right.
Yes. When you pick, you encourage the bush to set more flowers.
Right.
So it's in your interest to keep picking,
trying to get
a longer harvest. If you don't pick and you're not careful, they get overloaded and they break, like the branches just snap.
Okay.
The latest sauce that I've made that's actually been well accepted, well received. It's a very hot chili as well, but very thick flesh. And I actually had about 6 bushes here, and they get so tall and so big that they actually snap from the base if I don't harvest them. So this one managed to survive from last year. So I've decided that probably I won't replant anymore. I'm happy with the crop. And see, this tells me that the bush is just too old.
Ah, okay.
They should be elongated. They should be, but look at that. It's
right.
the same tree.
Yeah.
It's just that it's not producing now.
So you sort of look at that and go, yeah, maybe put that one out to pasture after this year. 15 varieties you mentioned when we were having a wander out in the garden, and we've got a small selection here. Yes. Tell us a little bit about them and the characteristics of different chilies.
Yeah, so the bulk are these 2 guys, obviously. So that's your red jalapeno, that's your...
And is there a difference in the strength or heat of those between the red and the...
Somewhat, yes. They tend to go slightly hotter, but at the same time they go sweeter. And it would be the same as a green and a red capsicum. Moving on to the ghost or the jalapeño butts. I don't know if people know their names, but it's
the ghost?
Yes, the ghost. So they sit in the ghost family, same as this. So I'm growing about 5 different varieties of the ghost as well. Every single one has their own unique bite and unique texture as well. So
see the outsides of these. So this gnarly finish compared to this, for example, or let's say using a peach, for example.
Yes.
You can look at that and tell me a bit about the heat strength straight away without me even having to try it.
In a nutshell, yes, in a nutshell. Same with the Carolina Reapers. As you can see, they are, this year, it's a bad year for the super hots in terms of we've had a very prolonged cold summer. So the quantity of my production is probably half than my usual year, and that's because that's the name of the game in farming, obviously, with Mother Nature.
It's got that little stinger tail on there.
That's a most gorgeous one. Yeah, and this one I only use the Reapers for my ketchup, which is quite popular at the market. So it's a Carolina Reaper ketchup. I have toned it down because obviously it is hot, But for me, it's not just about the heat, it's also about the flavour profiles as well. So some chilies do complement some dishes, and that's why I have such a large variety.
So I know, Norma, one of your best sellers and a favourite product at the market is your sweet jalapeno mustard, created right here in your kitchen. What else are you creating for us?
Well, today we are going to be making our double smoked chipotle jam. Very popular. It was designed to go on cheese platters, but a lot of people use it in many different ways. Burgers, believe it or not, even steak. So at the moment, I just wanted to show with the product, everything's very hands-on, very labor intensive. We pick the chilies, the red jalapenos. Every single chili gets opened up and we remove the seeds. Once they've been removed, we end up putting them in the smoker. And then from that point, it gets blended into a mash, I guess, ready for jamming. We cold smoke our products, which makes a big difference. It just adds another layer of flavour.
These products don't have any nasties in them?
Absolutely not. So everything's natural, so no additives whatsoever other than pears, carrots or apples. Okay. So I don't use something gum, I don't use any thickening agents at all, or binders or emulsifiers. So my stuff is as natural can be, and that's why some of the sauces are a little bit runny. Customers are fully aware, and for me it's more about not adding stuff that I think the sauces don't need.
So when I take this home, it sits on my shelf, I can see it's sort of separated there. Give it a good shake, and then it's a really nice thin sauce.
Absolutely.
So something to note for customers to, when they're pouring it out, don't go, "Argh."
That's right, good shake, and that's all it needs.
Norma trades every second week at the Willunga Farmers Market. You'll find her in Town Square. We'd love to see you there, and so would Norma. I'm going to let her get back to work. She's got some jam making to do.
Absolutely.
Thanks for having me.